So the bans are in interesting bans for both sides, and it looks like in chat the voting between who's going to win is super close. Volta predicted 41 to Vydra's 59%. I mean, I have to legally predict Volta, and I believe we have to go to the arena right now because the countdown is running.
Awesome. We are live in the arena. It is counting down. We have 2 wild cards. We have some crazy stuff going on. We got a Rabisu coming in on Vydra Relolded side. We have 2 Malices on WeForm Volta. Both of these teams are top tier pedigreed teams. We have a lot of ECM out, and we have a Blackbird already being target painted and 5 different ships being attempted to be jammed by WeForm Volta.
Well, hashtag it's happening, and it's happening fast. This is going to be a wild one. Rabisu versus Malice. That is going to be beautiful. There's ECM going everywhere. The Blackbird's going straight into armor. This is wild, man.
The one of the Malices is driving, or TikTok Toxic is sending his mouse straight into the Rabisu, and he's actually basically on top of him. I'm not sure. I think he's jammed out and he's not able to get tackle on him yet. But as soon as that Malice is no longer jammed, he will tackle. The thing about Malices is they are ridiculously difficult to kill. So unlike a lot of these other small tackle ships that we've been seeing running around, they will probably not die. They are assault frigates. They have the tank of cruisers, and they do have those ADCUs. It looks like WeForm Volta is trying to take a Sacrilege down, which again, one of the most tanky ships in the game, but they do have a Vindicator and a Hyperion.
That's an interesting call. I guess they kind of had to do it. The sack probably got them caught. They're hopefully going to rely on their nearest to keep them alive. But that's a very interesting call. But that sack is going down reasonably fast for a Sacrilege. They are really tanky boats.
The thing is, though, is it does have Rabisu reps hitting it, and Rabisus are the strongest armor logistics ship in the game. It is a tournament prize from Alliance Tournament 14. Back in the day, they used to run for about 300 to 400 billion ISK a piece. So for all you people with your faction titans, yeah, get out of here.
And both Malices are going hell for leather for that Rabisu, but both of them have actually been peeled off of him. Both have been held off and away from the Rabisu, who's now getting away from him. So he's going to get his capacitor back online if it wasn't already. So that is not good, but that Sacrilege does go down.
Yes, the Rabisu was jammed out. I am watching it very closely. It's the ship I'm going to be paying attention to this entire match, and it has not sent any reps out for probably a good 10 to 15 seconds here. The Vengeance is now being swatted really quickly from Vydra Reloaded.
Yeah, Vindicator and Hyperion at point blank. That was never going to go well for them. They're trying their best to keep this Vindy and Hypes as far away from their big ships as possible, because once that Vindy or Hype grabs the Leshak, that's probably going to be game over. I mean, sure, you'll get a lot of reps, but you've got 2 big blaster ships plus a lot of ECM. They can sort of control that Rabisu as much as they like and kill off the one real DPS ship they've got left.
And interestingly, the ECM changes make them maybe not necessarily as good anymore, but if you slap a ton of ECM onto someone's logistics ship, it is still just as broken and just as rage-inducing as it ever has been.
Oh, yeah. Look at this Malice, though. He's getting low armor. Oh, there goes the rep. Never mind. That Malice is really tanking it. Like, I think most of their team is trying to kill it, and it's being ECM'd as well, just for good measure.
Yeah, every single time a ship goes down, ECM just gets stronger and stronger because there's less things that they have to spread it on. So what we're seeing is both teams are doing their best to jam each other out. However, call it luck, call it skill. Volta was able to get the jams on the Rabisu when they needed it to take down a Sacrilege. And that, even though it doesn't seem like a lot, those ships do so much damage with the modern heavy assault missiles.
The brawl begins. Leshak versus Hyperion and Vindicator at 0 from each other. Here comes the big brawl. I think this one here will decide the match for sure.
It is very interesting. The Leshak is actually trying to take down a Blackbird right now, which
has to.
It's the only thing he probably can target on the entire field. So the interesting thing is that Blackbird is actually taking quite a bit of damage, and this is one of those things. This match is still very much up in the air because Vydra has so much jam strength that all they have to do is get a lucky jam off on that Oneros, and the Blackbird will survive. However, the Leshak has actually switched its target to the Vindicator. I don't think that was necessarily the best idea unless the Blackbird was able to get out of range of him, which that's probably about what happened.
I'm thinking he's hoping that his rooks can jam the Blackbirds out to give him the ability to fight. Because, I mean, yeah, if he kills this Vindicator, that is a winning condition for him. But at the same time, if he gets jammed again, that spool is going to be lost and he's going to be back in trouble again. Not good.
Yeah, the big issue with Leshak's, they have incredibly high DPS, but if he is jammed out, he has to reset his damage. And while he can keep his damage going on a Blackbird that is jamming him just because of the ECM changes, if he is going for a Vindicator and he's jammed out, he has to reset. However, he has not been jammed out yet, and he is actually taking that Vindicator down relatively fast. And I can tell, again, staring at this Rabisu, because that's all I do right now, the Rabisu is jammed once again.
I think the Oneros is jammed out for a while there too. He's repping again, but for a while he was not repping that Vindicator. So that almost gave him a chance to break through the Vindicator. Now, the thing is as well, the Vindy hype team just needs to win. It just needs to survive, sorry. They don't really have to kill this Leshak, they just do it because they can.
Having been on the receiving end of pretty much close to this exact same team comp, honestly, all Vydra has to, or all Volta has to do is just not lose any ships. But that Vindicator is dropping.
I mean, when Leshak's damage spools, he gets more and more dangerous, and they need to jam him out again for sure.
Yeah, at this point, they need to swap every ECM onto that Leshak, just for a second.
Like, the Malices have been constantly trying to harass the Rabisu. Looks like they've been most permanently tackled at this point now. I don't think they can get to him anymore. By looks of it.
I believe both Malices, yeah, they've been taken out of the play. Oh, and look at how fast, as soon as that Oneros is no longer jammed up, the Vindicator just reps to 50%, just like that.
And guess what? The Leshak gun is off again. He's back shooting the Blackbird, so perfect timing. He's shooting the Blackbird, he's shooting the Rook, my bad.
Yeah, he's shooting the team captain of We Form Volta, Starfleet Commander, with a Rook, who actually is a little bit out of position. There is a chance that they're going to be able to take him down because he is so far away from their Oneros right now.
Yeah, he's going to have a good amount of tank and a good resist profile, but he needs to get over to his friend ASAP. But that right there, that's going to be so disheartening for the Leshak. He got the Vindicator down to low armor, then immediately jammed out, and he repped. Oof, that hurts. Start again, mate.
And Starfleet Commander is holding on from Rep Jones. It looks like the Oneros is intermittently being unjammed, but it's still like the Leshak is putting out a ton of DPS there. And if he keeps, if he has the right ammo loaded, so he doesn't get outranged, which he just had happen. So never mind. I was going to say he's going to be able to burn through him, but he either got outranged or neuted out or something, and he just turned his damage off, and the Rook immediately popped back up. The Magus of Cable Uda is actually taking quite a lot of damage too here. Vydra really needs to clear either a little bit of tackle or just take down some Blackbirds. There is only a 16-point lead, so they don't actually have to kill anything.
They broke away the Vindicator and the Hyperion from the Leshak, and they are now on top of that Rabisu. I just saw Vindicator webs on the Rabisu. I'm not seeing it anymore, but for a moment there, he had the web on target.
Yeah, there's so many jams out here. It's,
I think this Rabisu might be not long for the world now. Yeah. Oof, that's not good. But there's a Malice back on the Rabisu. The Vindicator's not far away. The hype is burning in. That Rabisu is now enemy number one. It's got to go.
They're going to try. I'm not sure how well they'll do it. Rabisus are absurdly tanky as well. I think Vydra looks like they're trying to take down one of the Blackbirds again. They're just trying to clear just enough points. Like, this is 2 minutes left. This is a points match at this point. There's no way that you're going to be able to take down anything big besides, the Blackbirds are super squishy. You're not going to kill the Malices. You might be able to get the Pontifex. You might be able to get the Rook.
Yeah, well, this Rabisu, he's hard tied down now. He's not going to be able to get away no matter what. It's going to take a lot of ECM to do it. So there's going to be a race now. If they can kill that Rabisu in time, they might be able to switch on target and kill someone else after.
Well, they might also just ignore the Rabisu and just stick Malices on it. You never know. We'll see what happens. Vydra is trying to take down the Blackbird of Groves right now. They're doing a pretty good job just pumping damage into him. He is being repped by an Oneros.
The reps are doing really, really well. It looks like they were trying to do the Malices on that Rabisu before, but now they've just given up and just brought everything to the Rabisu. The Malices couldn't hold. They kept getting screened off, so now everything is just hugging that Rabisu. You're not allowed to leave anymore, sir. We are going to kill you. And yeah, look at him going down. Wow.
He is taking a lot of damage, and I think it's important to note, regardless of whether or not this Rabisu dies, Vydra cannot use it again unless they make it all the way to the last weekend. The way that the Rabisu and the Malices are both wildcard ships, so having them both fielded, like, they cannot field Malices. Volta cannot field Malices. Vydra cannot field the Rabisu again. So these two knew, like, hey, these are, like, this is the team that they knew that they had to get past. And
minute left, and the Rabisu goes down.
And at that point, yeah, I don't think Vydra's going to pull out from this one. I don't think they have enough damage, and Now Volta can just spread even more ECM onto everything because they no longer have to worry about the Ruby, so they can just start ECMing everything else. So
yeah, they can just start picking ships around. There's a Pontifex next to them. There's Avengers. They can just pick a target with those 2 blaster battleships and just delete at will. That is a massive shift there.
yeah, and it's really interesting seeing a Hyperion, but I think I can understand why they did it. They might have known that they were going to be going up against a sort of similar like high ECM control comp, and they wanted a blaster ship that had really, really good self-repping because, let's be real, these logistic ships have not been able to do very much this match, but they were able to do just enough on the Weaveform Volta side to keep them up.
I think the Hype's probably the most useful T1 battleships around for sure. It's got big enough drone bay, it's got a spare utility high slot, it's got 5 mids. If you want to bring a ship in a blaster rush, you've got to bring a Hyperion every time. It works so well.
And with that, Volta does take the win. Both Vydra and Volta have used their wild cards up unless they make it all the way to the final weekend, and we'll be sending it back to the desk.